Welcome everybody. My name is Alison Lewis and I'm the Dean of the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment. Welcome to our virtual open day. Can I have the first slide, please? So this is our introduction to what we call EBE, the Faculty of Engineering and the Built Environment. I'd like to start off by saying that we believe the future is now. Before COVID came, we recognized that we needed to plan for a very different kind of future for universities and for the faculty. The Vice-Chancellor set up the VC's Futures think tank, and we started working on Vision 2030, and then COVID came, and our belief is that COVID just fast-tracked the process. We launched emergency remote teaching in a few weeks. We created virtual material and online videos for lab work. We formed project teams, we trained tutors, and we offered extensive support. We also developed a whole lot of new teaching methods. So as EBE professionals, we felt that this is precisely what we are trained for, finding innovative solutions to new challenges. If you look at our faculty, these are the undergraduate programs that we offer. From the top left, we offer the BSc in Geomatics, and below that, the BAS in Architectural Studies. Mechanical Engineering Department offers Mechanical Engineering and Mechanical and Mechatronic Engineering. We offer the Core Chemical Engineering program. Electrical Engineering Department offers 3 programs: Electrical Engineering, Electrical and Computer Engineering, and Mechatronics. Civil Engineering, and then the 2 programs that are offered in Construction Economics and Management Department, and those are the BSc Construction Studies and the BSc Property Studies. So if you don't see the program that you're interested in on this slide, then you're in the wrong presentation. If I look at the size of our faculty, we're about 4,500 students, of which you can see from this graph, the majority, 72%, are undergraduate, about 23% postgraduate, and 5% PhD. And there you'll see also we've given the percentage of international students, and we feel that that is a particular strength of UCT's programs in general, and in particular of EBE, in that when you come to our faculty, you'll be a part of a class of very diverse, including international students. We've got about 822 first years. And so you'll see this graph here shows how the first years are split across the faculty, with by far our largest program being electrical engineering with about 220 first year students, followed by mechanical and chemical, and then civil. Architecture, construction, property, and geomatics are the smaller programs with less than 100 first year students each. We always say EBE is a very, very intensive program. UCT has a 24 teaching week calendar divided into approximately 2 12-week semesters. So it's really a small proportion of the whole year that's spent teaching, but during that time, it is at least 40 hours a week. And the advice for first year students is be intentional and consistent from day one. In the lectures and on the online platform, be very dedicated. You need to play the lectures back, you need to listen, you need to take notes. And the other thing to do is to really stay motivated. Use the peer networks and support that is available to you in the faculty. And one of the things we're very proud of in the faculty itself is the level of student support that we have. I've got 6 examples here, but there are many, many more than this in the faculty. So first of all, we have first year advisors, which means that every single first year student is allocated an academic who would be their first year advisor on academic type issues. We also have boot camps. So these are officially called tutored reassessment programs, but that name didn't stick, and so they're just called boot camps. And this is when a student fails a course that would impede their progression to the next year. And so we offer, first of all, very intensive tutoring, and then a chance to rewrite the exam. And this would happen in the VAC. So that's the boot camp. And that allows the student to clear the course and move on to the next level. And those have been very, very successful in getting students to progress and not have to waste an extra year. We also have academic development lecturers, and now these are academics whose main job is to do research around engineering education and academic development. They also teach very intensively. So in other words, we have people in the departments, in the faculty, who are really focused on engineering education as a research and investigative topic. And one of the findings of this research, for example, is that students who are peer networked and who collaborate with other students are more successful than students who work on their own. So that's one of the reasons that I always say in these talks that it's really, really important not to be the lone soldier, but really to make sure that you connect and network with other students. Then we have something called Aspect, which is a structured 5-year program for the 4-year degrees. So instead of doing the 4-year degree, having quite a crammed curriculum, possibly failing a few courses, having to pick up others, we have a structured system where you can do the 4-year program over 5 years with extra tutoring and extra support over the 5 years. And if you intentionally go into Aspect, it means you don't sacrifice graduating with honours and having the full experience except spread over 5 years. We also have a very intensive tutor system, which we've ramped up hugely during COVID. And these are postgraduate students who are employed as tutors into all the undergraduate courses. And this means that undergraduate students have access to postgrads, which is also kind of a mentoring relationship as well, and that they can really see what it's like to be more senior students in the system, and the more senior students can help out the junior students. And then lastly, we have a mentor program. This is volunteers only. And you'll see, in fact, the picture on this slide is a picture of our group of mentors from the previous year. And these mentors take under their wing junior students, probably 2 to 3 students per mentor. And this is where the new first years can really get support on all sorts of things from the more senior students. We're very proud of the fact that as a faculty, we feel like we're up to speed with the future. In fact, if you want to be involved in creating the future, then we believe that EBE is the place to be. So some examples of activities we're involved in include robotics, nanotechnologies, autonomous vehicles, in other words, driverless vehicles, smart tracking tools and systems, next generation plastics and biodegradable chemical materials, green building technology, recycling and using resources efficiently, and modern medical technology. So this is just some examples, but there's a huge range of the ways in which our faculty is involved in leading and shaping the future. We also believe that it's important to have what we call research-led teaching. In other words, not just teaching out of the same old textbook for the same 20 years in a row, but injecting new discoveries and new research into the undergrad curriculum. And we believe this inspires students about developing new knowledge. It shows students the impact of knowledge development. We also involve students in research projects, so that encourages students to see themselves as research collaborators. And we believe that research-led teaching can actually be a transformative experience for students. So I'd like to end off with the top 5 reasons to choose EBE. Number 1, you get taught how to think. So you're not learning something, a skills or a knowledge that's going to be outdated as the future moves ever more rapidly towards us, but you learn logical thinking, critical analysis, and decision-making skills that I believe are absolutely universal. Secondly, versatility. With an EBE degree, you can cover everything from rockets to mobile phones and hip replacements. So it's not just about fixing things or making things. It is really about understanding how and why things work. Thirdly, you'll be ready for any problem, no matter how big. No problem will seem insurmountable. So scary things like climate change, water security, renewable energy, even COVID, these kind of big, complex problems are well within the ambit of the EBE thinking and knowledge skills. You'll be globally marketable and financially secure. So a degree from EBE is internationally recognized. We're accredited by a number of international institutions and accrediting bodies, which means that you can go and work almost anywhere in the world. You'll also probably be well paid. And lastly, you get a chance to improve the world. EBE professionals contribute to society through all sorts of ways, including nanobots, HIV, city renewal, affordable housing, and I could go on and on and on with a list about the ways in which our EBE students and graduates really make a difference in the world. So we're now going to show you a short video before we'll do the Q&A. So can we hand over to the video, please? Welcome to the Faculty of Engineering in the Built Environment's virtual Open Day. This is your chance to hear about the faculty, what we're all about, and to get a lot of your questions answered. Our EBE faculty is known as the top EBE faculty in South Africa because of a combination of factors: our wonderful teaching staff, our highly qualified researchers, as well as our excellent facilities in the faculty.
EBE, it's about building a world and building a future, and I think that in our world where we are dealing with really big, wicked problems at the moment, everybody in EBE has their part to play in that.
UCT in itself is so diverse, and the built environment as well as the engineering faculty of UCT offers so much. You get to engage with people that have been in the industry, you get great mentors, and your peers, they're literally from all over the world.
I think what we have here is really great because within close proximity, you're able to tap into the expertise of colleagues, and the possibility for multi and interdisciplinary research is real, and what we have at EBE promotes that.
There is an amazing vibe on campus. It's an incredibly diverse mix of students from all across South Africa, all across Africa. We see that in our first year class every single year.
We have a whole new generation of students who are looking to solve global environmental problems, are interested in sustainability, people who are very creative, innovative, all the future entrepreneurs.
Be prepared to be surprised. Every corner that you turn into, nothing is cast in stone. It's dynamic, changing environment.
It's a great place to learn about both the technical subject but also a lot about life, and it's quite a unique space from that perspective.
Here we are imparting this knowledge on students that are going to go out there and really make a difference in the world.
Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that video. The EBE team, which is myself, Geeta Valodia, who's the faculty manager, Mary Hilton, who's the communication and marketing manager, are now available to answer questions. So please go for it.
So Alison, the first question up is, what is the route to a Mechatronics bachelor's degree?
Okay, so the first thing I want to say is that most of this, the answers I'll give to the questions today, you can find on our website, which is ebe.uct.ac.za. I'm happy to answer now, but just in case you want to follow up. So the route to mechatronics is via your matric, and once you've got your matric qualification, then you need to score sufficient points, and the admission requirements are published on our website. And if you achieve sufficient points, then you can be admitted into the mechatronics degree. And the way you do that is you'd apply round about now to UCT, and depending on your current point score, you would either be made a conditional offer or not.
And I think I'm just saying where the mechatronics, so it's in the electrical engineering and the mechanical.
Yeah, so we often get this question about the difference between the mechatronics degree, which is hosted in electrical engineering, and the mechanical and mechatronics engineering degree, which is hosted in mechanical engineering. And a kind of a shortcut answer that I give is that the mechanical and mechatronics degree, which is in mechanical engineering department, is it's a mechanical engineering degree. In other words, it's mechanical focused. So if you make a robot, you are going to make a beautiful robot with articulated limbs, and the mechanics of the robot will be really perfect. It might not be able to do so much because the control and the software is not your main focus. However, if you're in the mechatronics degree, which is in the electrical engineering department, your robot itself might be made out of paper clips and bits of string, but what it could do would be amazing. In other words, your focus is going to be on the control systems and the software.
Great, thank you. This one is for Geeta. When completing application, are you able to choose more than one department within EBE faculty, e.g. first choice as mechanical, second choice as electrical?
Thank you, Mary. The short answer to that is yes. You have the opportunity to make two choices, and you can most definitely make two choices in the EBE faculty. For example, first choice in mechanical engineering and a second choice in electrical engineering. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. The next question is, if you were to take architecture, would it be possible to take electives like mathematics? How flexible are they?
In theory, you can take electives. In practice, the architecture curriculum is pretty full. So what you would need to do is just ensure that the mathematics elective that you wanted to take didn't clash with anything that you were doing within architecture. And, you know, strangely enough, COVID has actually given us this opportunity to be a little bit more flexible, because we do a lot, now we're doing so much online and in a blended mode. So that's something that I would, if architecture is your main love, you apply for architecture, and then you investigate within the department what the flexibility is for other electives. I suppose the short answer is, if you're really committed to doing other electives, you could always fit them in, but I would just be a little bit cautious because the architecture program is pretty full.
And this one's for Geeta. Is it possible to transfer from the law faculty to EBE?
Yes, in theory, it is possible after completing a first year in law and having an opportunity to experience university and to pass courses there. Then when transferring to EBE, we would still require that you had done mathematics and physics at high school, because those are two very core programs, subjects for engineering. If you were transferring to construction economics and management, we still require the mathematics. So the answer is yes, you can transfer from the law faculty to EBE, but you would have had to have done mathematics and physics at school. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you. Alison, I'd like to know what chemical engineering focuses on.
Yeah, that's a great question. If you look at all the engineering qualifications, then chemical engineering is probably the broadest. So there's a big debate about what chemical engineering should be called, and one of the other options is process engineering, and that to me captures the flavor of how broad chemical engineering is. So the processes that you could be focusing on are anything from water treatment processes to nuclear power plant processes to pharmaceutical production to renewable energy. So anything that involves a process would be chemical engineering. So if you want to know a little bit more about the actual courses and the content of the courses, then once again I advise you to go onto our website where you can download the handbook, and the handbook gives you right down into credit by credit detail of what all the courses are about.
Thank you. Does UCT assist with in-service training at companies?
Yes, as much as we can. For many of the programs, it's required that you do in-service training. And obviously, we've got more contacts and more links into industry and those who offer the in-service training. So we do our best to place you. But obviously, if students have got their own connections, then that's very, very helpful for us. Because as you can see, with 830 first-year students, it's very difficult to place every student.
Thank you. How long is a postgraduate degree for Chemend? Not sure.
So that depends on which postgraduate degree you choose. If you choose a master's degree, it's nominally 2 years, and if you choose a PhD, it's nominally 4. But obviously, if you do it in a real rush, you could do it in less, and if you take your time, you could do it in more.
Thank you. I was wondering if aeronautical engineering is a postgraduate focus or if it's something studied in mechanical engineering.
Yeah, so we don't offer aeronautical engineering as an undergraduate degree. If you wanted to go that route, you would start with mechanical engineering and then probably do an aeronautical postgraduate degree.
Is the NBT required for engineering courses, Geeta?
The University of Cape Town does require that applicants do the national benchmark tests, but it is not part of the calculation of your entrance points when you apply to EBE. So we only look at your school results and in particular your mathematics and your physics marks.
Thank you. This is another one for you, Geeta. Can I change between mechanical and mechatronic and electrical after I've started with one of them? If I can change after, when would I be able to change?
That's a good question. In theory, again, yes, but if the programs are full, we don't allow transfer in the first year. The courses are all quite similar, the initial courses, so we will allow a transfer at the head of department's decision in the second year.
Thank you. I think we have answered most of them. Let me see.
Mary, I see there's a question about the difference between software engineering and computer engineering.
Great.
So what is the difference between software engineering and computer engineering, and can we apply for a job as a software engineer with a computer engineering degree? So these degrees that you're talking about are all offered in the science faculty, so you need to go to the science faculty talk to get the detailed answer, but the answer is yes. Software engineer is very, very much something that you could, a job that you could get with either computer engineering or a software engineering degree.
Thank you. Do all engineering courses have the same first year? And which engineering course is the easiest to get into?
Is that for me or Geeta?
I think you first.
Okay.
Is it a general first year?
Yes. Okay. So this is a debate that rages, and we seem to go in cycles here. At the moment, all of our engineering courses have different first years. However, if, for example, you go into one of the electrical engineering options, then all of those students have the same first year. So within departments, the first year is the same, but across departments, the first year is different. Yeah, so that's for engineering courses specifically. Obviously, architecture, construction, geomatics, etc. are quite different. Which engineering course is the easiest to get into? In the whole faculty, the courses with the lowest point score would be construction and property, and and then followed by civil engineering, just in terms of the maths point score. But you need to look carefully at the requirements to get in. So you need a minimum overall point score, but you also need sub-minima in mathematics and physics for the engineering courses. So there are two or three criteria you need to satisfy to get an offer.
Great. We have 4 minutes left, so I think we've got time for 2 more questions. Are all lectures currently only online for first-year engineering students?
We have most of our material online, but we are requiring all of our engineering students to be in campus in Cape Town, because we are having on-campus activities. And I'm very glad this question came up, because it's something that we feel very strongly about in the faculty. You cannot sit at home online and really have a good learning experience. So we are making use of all the benefits of online, but at the same time, we believe that learning is a social activity. I stress the peer networks and the interaction. So all of our students come to campus at least 1 day a week, and that's going to continue for next year as well.
So how many first-year students do you enroll for engineering in a year, and what is the limit?
So as you'll see by the graph I presented, we've got approximately 830 first-year students. And as I said, most of them are in electrical engineering. Electrical, mechanical are the biggest engineering departments. And yeah, we don't have a limit, but we're usually constrained by the number of students that achieve the point score and the number of students that eventually arrive for registration.
Thank you. And the last question, if you want to, this is for you, Geeta, if you want to transfer to UCT, how would the process work regarding my marks after finishing my first year?
Thank you. So transferring to UCT is through an application online. What we then do is we will present your transcript to the head of department. The head of department is looking for certain things, and based on your performance at a different institution, the head of department will make a decision. What the head of department is looking at would be your marks and how you've done at university in your first year, and is looking sort of in the range of 65% GPA or grade point average. That's the kind of result that the HOD might be looking for, and then we'll make a decision on your transfer into UCT.
Great. That's all we have time for.
Okay, excellent. Thank you so much, Mary and Geeta, and thank you everybody for attending. I hope that you found this session useful. That's the end of our session. I hope you enjoy the rest of the program and the rest of your day. Thank you so much.